said it needs to walk under the staff, and if it can't walk because it's missing its leg, so it's a treifa. It's exempt. Also by sacrifices you can't use a treifa. So we learn one from the other. We learn 5 from sacrifices. Take us over to Meiser because of the word tachas. We learned 1 from Meiser goes back. Is it 5 or 4? It's Kalayim, Nidme, Yetzidofen, Mechusar Zman, and Yasim. It's 5 things. It's interesting because our Mishnah didn't say Nidme. We have a missing piece here. A missing... Kalayim. Kalayim is Nidme. That's good. No. Tosfos mentions this. There's really 6 cases. And there's one that gets left out in the count. The crossbreed and the one that doesn't look similar to the mother is being interchanged here, and it's being counted as one. Okay, but we're learning treifa back from Meiser back to sacrifices. Now the Gemara discusses the Mishnah. It says Hakol. You said everything. Allah suyemai. What are you including in that everything? La suya hadatan rabban is coming to include what the rabbis taught in a brisa. Hariveya va'nirva. An animal that was used. That lived with a human, whether Reveya would be a male animal with a woman, or Vanirva is a female animal with a man. Vahamuktzah, Vahanevad, these are 2 animals that are designated or worshipped for idolatry. Va'esnan, an animal that's given to a prostitute. Va'machir is the animal that's exchanged for a dog that we mentioned earlier. Utumtum v'androgynous. And these 2 animals that their gender is undetermined. Hermaphrodite, its skin has grown over the area. Kula nechnasim l'dir l'sasher. All of them go into the pen for tithing. These are all exemptions for sacrifices, but they still go into the pen for tithing. We mentioned before, Tumtum and Androgynous, we had a whole sugya, that was regarding Bechor, because we needed a male. Now we're talking about tithing. Now over here, all of a sudden, Tumtum and Androgynous goes into the pen. We'll see. Reb Shimon ben Yehuda Aimer, Mishum Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon ben Yehuda says the name of Reb Shimon. We had this Reb Shimon ben Yehuda yesterday. And Reb Shimon would be Reb Shimon ben Yochai. He says, Tumtum and Androgynous, ein nechnasen l'dir l'sasha. No, you don't put in a Tumtum and Androgynous into the pen. Okay. Now, here's the issue. The Mishnah said all animals go into the pen, except for a list of 5. Why? Because they're invalid for sacrifices. And we learned tachas from the sacrifices to Meiser. Then we said, why did you say all animals? What were you coming to include? We said a whole list of animals that would be invalid for sacrifices, which they are obligated to go into you do put them in the pen for Meiser. This is 1 second. Are you comparing it to sacrifices or not? V'tana didan, in our Tana, igomer tachas mikadshim. If he learns tachas, that gezeira shava that says all the laws of sacrifices apply to tithing, hani namilai, so these should be exempt. Why did you say these go in? V'ilay aleph, and if you don't learn tachas, so hani minale. So how do you know those exemptions that you already said? You said 5 different exemptions. How do you know they're exempt? If you don't learn from Kachim. So the Gemara says, Le'olam Gamar. Really, we learn from Kachim. Bani Rachmanu Rabinu. And really, here, the Eibishter, the merciful one, included these back in. Why? Because it says in the Pasuk, Ki mashchasem bem mumbam le'yirotze lachem. It says because it's disgusting, it's a blemish, it should not be an appeasement for you. And Vitana debei Rabbi Yishmael, and it was taught in the yeshiva of Rabbi Yishmael, Kol makom shnemar by hashchasa ein al dvar erva v'avei zara. The word hashchasa, which means a corruption, or disgusting, a corruption, is referring to 2 things. idolatry or immorality. And those are two things that invalidate a sacrifice. And that was the discussion of all of these cases that we just said, that Meiser is that you do put entities into the pen for Meiser, but not for sacrifices. Dvar Erva, how do we know that the word hashchasa means immorality? It says because all flesh was corrupted its way, its way on the earth. So, talking about Noach, during the time of Noach, the animals did not mate. They weren't faithful, all of that, and they corrupted their ways. That's in the word over there is hishchis, which is referring to a corruption of morality. Avodah Zarah, where did we see that it's referring to idolatry? Except pentashchisun, lest you become corrupted. Vasisim lechem pesel tumunas kol samal, and you make for yourself an image, some symbol, tabne zachar in a keva, a form of a male or a female. Okay, now we explain like this: kol shamam paisel by anything that's invalidated because of a blemish. Dvar erva v'avodah zarah paisel by. So then immorality and idolatry will also make it invalid. But kol she'enam paisel by, and if a blemish doesn't invalidate it, ein dvar erva v'avodah zarah paisel by. So then immorality and idolatry doesn't invalidate it. B'hai meiser, what's regarding meiser tithing? It says hayol v'lei pasal beimuma, because you don't have to look through the animals to make sure there's no blemish before you put them into the pen. And it says clearly that you're not supposed to check between good and bad when you put them into the pen. That means they may have a blemish. And if the 10th one has a blemish, okay, so it's exempt from. So then you don't bring it as a sacrifice. You slaughter it at home, but it still goes into the pen. So because these all are categorized under the category of blemishes, so that's why these go into the pen, because Meiser still includes the blemished ones. Dvar erva v'avodah zarah nami like pasal bay. Okay. So immorality and idolatry doesn't invalidate this from coming into the pen. Now it goes through the list. Reveya v'nirva, those that were lived with by a male or a female, those animals, Dvar erva, that goes under the category of immorality. Muktzah v'nevad is avodah zarah. Muktzah, and if it's designated or worshipped, that's considered idolatry. If someone worshipped an animal, he poured wine over it between its horns, Rashi says. Ve'esnan, the one that's exchanged, that's given to a prostitute, that's Dvar erva. U'mechir, the one that's exchanged for a dog, is iskash le'esnan. It's compared to the one that's exchanged for it's given to the prostitute as payment. And so therefore, that invalidates the sacrifice, but that's not, it's not exempted from Meiser. Tumtum v'andragonus, this is interesting. Tumtum v'andragonus, kasavar sveiko. This is considered a doubt. Now, the problem here is, what's the problem with the doubt? You don't know if it's a male and female, but so what? Males go into the Meiser, and so do females. What the Gemara is saying here is that Hakol, everything goes into the pen. We included everything that has a blemish, but that meant everything that, even if it was lived with a male or female, or we included that because that was just under the blemish category. We included a payment for the prostitute. We included the exchange for the dog. We're also going to include tumtum and androgynous, because either way, whether it's a male or it's a female, it goes into the pen. We just don't know. But it's possible. There's one other opinion. The other opinion says it's not. Tumtum and androgynous is not a doubt if it's a male and female. It's a third gender. Need 3 bathrooms.
Progressive.
Progressive. Reb Shimon ben Yehuda Imer Kasavar. The other gear says Beria, Sveika or Beria. There's 2 opinions, two versions here to the text. Shimon ben Yehuda says no. It's its own gender. It's its own creation. And miyat rachmana gabi kachim zachar v'adai nekev v'adais leitum tevandrogenes. And by sacrifices, the Torah says it needs to be definitely male or definitely female, and it can't be a tumtum or androgynous. So meiser nami. So therefore, by meiser gamar tachas mikachim, he learns meiser as well, because we have the verbal analogy of tachas. It says tachas here, it says tachas there. We learn the same halachas over. That's his opinion. Tana Rabbanan. The rabbis taught, Hakol nechnasen lebdil is asher. All animals go into the pen for tithing. Chutz min hakalayim v'atrefa. He only lists as two things, except for a crossbreed and the trefa. Divrei Rabbi Lazar bar Yehuda ish kfar batusa. This is the words of Rabbi Lazar, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, a man from the village of Bartusa. Shamar mishum Rabbi Yeshua, that said in the name of Rabbi Yeshua. We're not going to have all of that, but we have Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Yeshua ben Hanania and Rabbi Eliezer. Those are from the 5 students of Rabbi Yeshua. Amar Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva says, Ani shamati man. Rabbi Akiva says, I heard from Rabbi Yeshua, Af yetzi daifen u'machusar zman v'yasim. He adds in the other 3 that we were missing. We said there were 5 exemptions. Rabbi Akiva adds in the other 3. The Tanakama. What is the Tanakama, this first opinion? Igamar tachas tachas mikachim. If he uses the verbal analogy, the word tachas, it says tachas here. It says tachas by sacrifices. It says tachas by tithing. It says tachas means under the staff by tithing. It says under its mother for 7 days by sacrifices. And that word tells me that the halachas of one are applied to the other. So hani namilai, and we shouldn't have any of those. Why does he only have 2 instead of 5? Vilay gamar. Excuse me. If he doesn't learn tachas, bishleim treifa, I understand why he's not going to accept the animal that can't walk, because kolash yaver tachas hashavet, anything that can't go under the staff. Prat l'treifa, that's excluding a animal that's a treifa she'ina iveres, that it doesn't go under the staff, can't pass under the staff because it can't walk. Where does he know that a crossbreed is exempt from tithing? So the Gemara says, La'olam Gamar. Really, he learns tachas. He learns from kachim. So what happened to all the other ones? Why does he only have 2 if he's learning tachas? He should have 5. And when it comes to a Caesarean, this person has a lot of unique opinions. He's going to accept all of these opinions, all of these, it's called the Das Yachid, this opinion that only one person holds of. You know, I just thought it would be interesting to look at Judaism through the eyes of one Tana and just like follow it through. What would it look like if we paskined everything like him? It would be very unique. It would be a great essay for you know.
A good fiction book.
Well, that's probably how we had different groups. You know. Yeah.
Now you know what you're doing over your summer break.
There are people. There are scholars that believe that Yashka was influenced by Beis Shammai, and they went through his things, and they say that because they have a few original teachings from him, everything else is the Gospels, and they think that it fits with Beis Shammai's statements of Beis Shammai.
Yeah.
Okay, delete that.
Reverse.
So we're asking why does he only accept 2 things and not 5 things? If he learns from Kachim, then he should have all 5. He only has 2. So we say, well, first of all, let's go to the 3rd one, talking about the Caesarean. Well, Savalak Reb Shimon, Vlad Ma'aliyahu. Reb Shimon holds in Masechtas Nida that a woman that has a Caesarean, she has all the laws of Tumah and Tara exactly like a regular natural birth. So therefore, this is considered a birth. So he doesn't hold that a Caesarean is considered not a birth. It says ki yivalid, that will give birth. So this is a type of birth. Would like Rabbi Yochanan. Over there, Rabbi Yochanan says that even Reb Shimon would agree that it's not considered good enough for a sacrifice. Reish Lakish over there argued. So we're saying he goes according to Reb Shimon, according to Reish Lakish, not according to Reb Shimon, according to Rabbi Yochanan. There's two ways of learning Reb Shimon. Okay, so you see, he picks. This is like this one opinion in this in an individual opinion. Mechusar Zman. What about the one that was too early? That he says it goes into the pen. Why does it go into the pen? Well, Savala Reb Shimon ben Yehuda. Held like Reb Shimon ben Yehuda, which we had like 2 days ago, where Reb Shimon ben Yehuda held. You put it into the pen. You just have to wait a few days till you can offer it as a sacrifice. Doesn't mean it can't go into the pen. Yasim. What is the Yasim? It's talking about where the skin is intact. And this is Rabbi Yeshua. Yeshua in the Mishnah said, if the mother's skin is intact, it's not a Yasim. We figured it out. We had to take all of these individual opinions, but we figured it out. Hey Rabbi Yishmael ben Sasriel miarkas Levena. It's a long name. It's the name of a place. I don't get what Rashi's saying here. Ben Sasriel miarkas Levena is all a place? That's strange. Ben Arkas Levena is a place.
There's two Rashi.
I have a Rashi with the heading Ben Sasriel miarkas Levena. I assume his name is Rabbi Yishmael ben Sasriel. Where's he from? Arkas Levena. But Rashi says Ben Sasriel miarkas Levena is Menachem. I don't know. No, it's funny.
He quotes Shkolin in Matzah Shkolin. No?
I don't have.
No, what is this?
I don't have any notes. I have an older Gemara, so I don't have all the.
Quote something here. Hey.
Oh, the hey sends me to Shita Mekubetzes. He just says Menachem. Husayf Diber. Husayf Diber. It means that's the end of the Rashi. Okay, whatever. Lifnei Rabbi. This Rabbi Yishmael ben Sasriel from Arkas Levena, that's what I think, or Ben Sasriel Markas, he's from Ben Sasriel Markas Levena. Lifnei Rabbi. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't see the time.
Time flies, you're having fun.